Hello and welcome back. So this video is for class 12 and we will continue with wave optics. So previously we saw how we can prove refraction and reflection using the Huygens principle, and we saw the phenomena of interference of waves by seeing the Young's double slit experiment. Today we start with the next topic, that is the concept of diffraction. Okay, now in this chapter this will be the last topic. The remaining topics, that is resolving power, now that has been removed from the textbook, okay, and polarization, right? So don't worry about those topics. They for this year they are not included in the syllabus. So diffraction will be our last topic for this chapter. So what is diffraction? So there is a very simple way to understand diffraction. Consider we have an obstacle like this, okay. So there is a let us say a rectangular shaped object, right? Here we have a screen. We are going to have a source of light from here, okay. Let us say we are creating a plane wavefront, right? So a plane wavefront is incident on our obstacle over here. So when this plane wavefront passes, what should you expect on this side? Okay, what you are going to assume is the waves will come like this. They will come here. This being an opaque object, no light waves will pass through the object, right? And they are going to illuminate this side. So we are going to see light on this side, okay. यहाँ पर हमको light दिखेगा, and this region is going to be the shadow region, correct? That is what we notice. That let us say इसका length अगर 10 centimeter रहेगा, so here we are going to have a shadow of 10 centimeters, correct? That is something that should happen. Because light waves there, it is a plane wavefront, so plane wavefront will come in this manner. But what happens is, in this shadow region also, these rays tend to come like this. So there is some light seen in this region. So इसका जो shadow रहेगा, so even if it is a 10 centimeter object, the shadow will be smaller than 10 centimeters. Getting it? This is called as a diffraction. What happens is, these light waves which are coming here, right, they encounter the obstacle and they tend to curve from there. They tend to turn because of that obstacle. That is called as diffraction. Now, if the obstacle is like this, so we are going to see the light going in the shadow region. What if we have a slit present? Okay, if there is a slit present like this, and here we have the screen. Again, plane wavefront is coming in. We should see that only this region becomes dark, only the central region should get illuminated. But once again, what happens? Due to the obstacle, the light waves, they tend to curve, they tend to bend, okay, and some light is seen on the other side as well. This is diffraction. So what is diffraction? The bending of light when it encounters an obstacle, okay. And I hope this is understood. Even if this is not understood, a simple activity I will tell you, you can do it. Go to your window. From your window you look at a faraway object, okay. Maybe if you can see the mountain, or you can see a tree that is quite far away, and you stretch your hand like this, okay. Stretch your hand and you try to observe your thumb, and just try to observe the region over the thumb, okay. So if you are looking at a tree, try to look at the tree just above your thumb. You will see that on the edges, okay, on the edges you are going to see the image of the tree will tend to curve. थोड़ा सा bending आपको नजर आ जाएगा. That is nothing but diffraction. Now we are going to derive, we are going to see the phenomena of diffraction by using something called as a single slit. Okay, so we are going to see diffraction when it takes place through a single slit, and then we are going to derive some formula for it. Now we are going to see the derivation for a single slit diffraction. So this is our slit over here, okay. What is the width of the slit? The width of the slit is small a, okay. And to get the best effect, we need that slit should be as small as possible. So in Young's experiment there were two slits. Here we are going to have a single slit. Here is a plane wavefront that is passing through the slit. What is going to happen now? The light will pass and it is going to create a very bright spot in this region equal to the width of that slit. But because of diffraction, the light is actually going to spread, and that is the spread is what we want to find out. Fine. So now let us select one point over here. Let us call that point as P. Distance from O to P will be X. from the slit and the screen, distance is capital D, just as before. Only difference we are making here, the slit width we are taking as small a, so that there is no confusion with interference in this. So what happens is, the plane wavefront comes to our slit. Every point on the slit now acts as a secondary source of light due to Huygens principle. They start making waves. The waves now start interfering with each other. So you can actually say that diffraction is nothing but a special case of interference. Okay, because it is actually the same phenomena taking place. But yes, the effect that we see here is different. When you are getting a Young's experiment, you are able to see fringes. Means you see a bright, dark, you see alternate fringes. Here the image looks a little bit different. We'll see how that image will look like. So anyway, so P is our point. So now from this slit, many rays of light are going to come. Many waves are going to come which are going to interfere. And so let us imagine, from the top one ray goes here and the other ray goes here. Correct. So at P they are going to interfere. When they interfere at P, whether we'll have a bright spot or a dark spot will depend upon the path difference. Correct. Whether they are going to have a constructive interference or a destructive interference. So that is the condition that we want to derive. So for that, let us make some. Let us put some values. So first we are going to assume that the angle that these two waves are making with the horizontal, that angle is theta. Now we are saying that both waves are making angle theta. You can see they are actually making some angle with each other. But what we are assuming, see, we are taking some liberties whenever we are doing these kind of derivations. We are assuming this capital D is very, very large, so that these two rays, although they are intersecting, we can actually assume that they are parallel to each other. So both are going to have an angle of theta. Fine. This slit ko let us give a name A and B. Right, so that these rays we can get. Now, what will be the path difference at P? Path difference at P will be BP minus AP, which will be equal to. Now, how do you find out? Very simple way to find that out. Okay, this is BP minus AP. So AP I can subtract from BP, and I will get a point here, that is N. Right? So this BN will actually be the path difference, correct? No? Right? If we draw perpendicular from A on this ray BP, this length that we are getting BN, that is nothing but the path difference between BP and AP. Let us call this our first equation. Then what we see, if this is angle theta, then this angle NAB, this NAB, this angle will also be equal to theta. Okay, that is simple geometry now. Now, why do we want this angle to be theta? Now you can write sine of theta is equal to opposite upon hypotenuse, that is BN, upon hypotenuse, that is AB, which is nothing but the slit width A. We are assuming theta is very, very small. Okay, if theta is small, then you can say that sine of theta is approximately equal to theta. Right? Again, this is something that we have used many times. Whenever theta is very small, you can assume that the sine of that theta is going to be equal to theta. Then what will happen to this equation? This equation will become theta is equal to Bn upon A, or we will say Bn, which is our path difference. Bn will be equal to theta multiplied by A. Let us call this our second equation. Okay. I hope till here you have followed. Now we are going to make use of this equation. So let me write it here. The path difference BA is equal to theta into A. Equation number 2. The other thing from the diagram, I can see that this angle is also theta. Okay. So for this theta, I will take the tan of theta. Tan of theta will be opposite upon adjacent. What is opposite? OP, which is X, upon what is adjacent? Adjacent is this BO, which is nothing but capital D. So you can say tan of theta is X upon D. But once again, theta being very small, tan of theta will be approximately theta. So this equation will become theta is equal to X by D. Correct? Let us call this equation number 3. Using equation 3, in equation 2, you can write Bn, that is the path difference, will be equal to XA upon capital D. This will be equation number 4. Okay, I hope this is understood. So now path difference, you got a formula for the path difference. What is the formula? Bn is xa by d. X is the distance from the center from point O. A is the slit width and capital D is the distance between screen and between the screen and the slit. Now we want to find out conditions for constructive or destructive interference. What is constructive interference? Constructive means there will be a bright spot at P. Destructive means there will be a dark spot at P. First let us find the condition for dark spot. Dark spot or the destructive interference. Now here is where you will see a difference between interference and diffraction. If there has to be a dark spot or destructive interference, then this path length Bn should be an integral multiple of lambda, lambda being the wavelength of the light. Once again, I think I should mention the light we are using here is monochromatic, correct? Polychromatic also creates a diffraction, but it is very complicated to find that formula. So anyways, path length should be integral multiple of lambda, where n is going to take value 0, 1, 2, so on and so forth, right? So for a dark spot, the condition is that path length should be n lambda. From equation 4, therefore you can write n lambda will be equal to xa by capital D, or you can write xn, that is the nth fringe, xn will be equal to n capital D lambda by A. Okay, so this is the condition for a dark fringe. So when do you see the first dark fringe? The first dark fringe x1 you will see when n is equal to 1, that is at lambda d by A. So this distance lambda d by A, this will give you where you are going to get the first dark fringe, and that is called as the first minima. Okay, getting the idea? So at P you will have a dark fringe if itna distance milega, lambda into d by A. At this distance you will get your first dark spot. Next we are going to see the condition for a bright spot. Okay, bright spot, that means a constructive interference. In a diffraction you will get constructive interference if the path length Bn is n plus 1 by 2 of lambda. That is a half integral multiple of lambda. I hope you are seeing this difference. In interference, for constructive we had the condition that it should be an integral multiple, and for destructive we had this condition. लेकिन diffraction में cases opposite हो जाता है. In a diffraction, for a bright spot, for constructive, the condition is that path difference should be n plus 1 by 2 lambda. Fine. Again, from equation 4, this will become xa by d equal to n plus 1 by 2 into lambda, or xn, the nth fringe, will be equal to n plus 1 by 2 lambda capital D by A. Okay, so this is where you are going to get your first bright fringe. So first bright fringe कहाँ पे मिलेगा? For x1 where n is equal to 1. So that is 3 by 2 lambda d by A. Getting the idea? So for this distance you will get your first bright spot, that is called as first maxima. So these two conditions you will remember, conditions for destructive interference and conditions for constructive interference, and these formulae you have to remember, correct? Again, I know when you see these for the first time थोड़ा सा confusing लगता है, but make sure you are writing this. This entire derivation is there in the notes. This is the only topic where I will actually suggest you don't read the textbook. Okay, only for this topic of diffraction via single slit. थोड़ा सा confusing है when you read it from the textbook. ये वाला step is very easy to understand. Now we are going to see what is the meaning of this and what kind of pattern we are going to see on this screen. Okay, now to understand what you see on the screen, this is the screen and these are the distances on the screen. तो ये center वाला O, then from the center first point we are having lambda d by d. Okay, ऊपर की side में positive side में, then 3 by 2 lambda d by t, then 2 lambda d by d. Then negative side में minus lambda d by t minus 3 by 2, same points है. Okay, and on this y-axis we are going to see the intensity. Okay, ये brightness दिखा रहा है. तो what you are going to see? Center में maximum brightness मिलेगा. Correct? As you move away from the center, the brightness will start decreasing where you get the first minima. Okay, so one graph you will see like this. Okay, this is again I will repeat. This is a brightness. Fringe कैसा नजर आएगा? The fringe will look something like this. बहुत बीच में bright दिखेगा ऐसा, Okay, that will become dark, then it will be little bit lighter, then again dark, then more lighter. Okay, इस तरह का spot नजर आता है on that single slit experiment. This is the image actually that you are seeing. Here we are only seeing the intensity. तो lambda d by d पे first minimum. Then what will happen at 3 by 2 lambda d by d? That will be the first maximum. So what will happen is the intensity will increase. Okay, here you are going to get the first maximum. थोड़ा सा कर्व में दिखाना है. Okay, then again it will start to decrease and again you will get a dark spot at 2 lambda d by d और इस तरह से मिलेगा. Same thing is going to happen on the other side also. This will start to decrease. Again you will get maximum here. Okay, so this is the brightness graph for diffraction, right? Here we are seeing how bright it is. तो सबसे ज्यादा ब्राइट कहां पे रहेगा? जो सेंट्रल पार्ट है. ओके, हाउ मच इज द विड्थ ऑफ दैट सेंट्रल मैक्सिमा? सेंट्रल मैक्सिमा का विड्थ रहेगा लैम्डा डी बाई डी प्लस लैम्डा डी बाई डी, दैट इज 2 लैम्डा डी बाई डी. इतना वो विड्थ रहेगा ऑफ द सेंट्रल मैक्सिमा. एंड देन यू आर गोइंग टू सी a dark spot, then light spot, okay, bright spot, फिर से dark, and you will see the brightness goes on decreasing. That is why I said center में it looks very bright, then there is a dark spot, then it looks lighter. Okay, या जो center maxima है उसके मुकाबले light रहेगा. Then you see these fringes. That is the image that you will observe in diffraction. Okay. Now as I said, so that was the derivation, and this diagram also, whenever you are writing the answer for diffraction, you will make this diagram properly. So this was our syllabus for wave optics. All the remaining topics, polarization and resolving power, now that is not part of the syllabus, so need not worry about them. Okay, so itna part आप लोग अच्छे से will write in our notebooks, and whatever doubts you are having, make sure that you are asking me. Thank you.